Some people spend their life chasing wealth. Some people spend their life chasing clothes, food, sex, relationships. But all these things are vanity, because these things will never fill the hole in your heart. They never will. They just won't. Because when you chase these things, what you're doing is you're putting your identity in these things. And if they fail, then your identity fails. And that's why people end up committing suicide. That's why people end up losing themselves. Because they put their identity in things that don't last. They put their identity in things that will never last. That's just how it goes. People are putting their identity in things that can't possibly last, things that are finite, things that are physical. You can't put your identity in things that are physical when you're a spiritual being, because you're made in the image of God. When God created everything, he looked at the waters to create the fish. He looked at the land to create the animals of the land. He looked at the skies to create the birds. But when he created you, he looked to himself. Now, what happens when you take a fish out of water? It dies. When you take a land animal and you put it in the water, it dies. You take a bird and you put it under the ground, it dies. But the same thing happens with us. When you take a human being out of God, when a human being does not have their relationship rooted in God, they die. Just like how a bird dies when it's not in the air. Just like how a fish dies when you take it out of water, because its relationship, its being is not rooted in what it was made out of. Where God looked at the waters to create fish, and he looked at himself to create us. So when we're out of God, when we're not in God, when we're not rooted in God, when we don't have a relationship with him, then we die. And maybe we don't die instantly, but we die eventually, just like Adam and Eve died eventually.